Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel CBSE English Boost. I am Suchandra Day and today we are going to discuss a very emotional and important chapter from class 12 English book Flamingo titled The Last Lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet. In this video, we will cover about the author, the background of the story, the summary of the chapter, moral values, critical analysis, tone of the author, message conveyed in the story. So let's begin the lesson. First, let us know about the author. Alphonse Daudet was a famous French novelist and short story writer who lived from 1840 to 1897. His stories often focused on human emotions, social issues, and everyday life. The Last Lesson is one of his most well-known stories. It beautifully expresses the love for one's language and country. Through this story, Daudet shows how people realize the value of their language only when it is taken away from them. Before we move to the story, it is important to understand its historical background. The story is set during the Franco-Persian War of 1870 to 71. In this war, France was defeated by Persia. After the defeat, the French districts of Alaska and Lorraine were captured by Persia. The new rulers ordered that German would be taught in schools instead of French. Because of this order, the French language was no longer allowed to be taught in those schools. This situation forms the emotional foundation of the story. Now let us look at the main characters of the story. Franz, a young schoolboy and the narrator of the story. At first, he is careless about studies. M. Hamel, the French teacher who has been teaching for 40 years. He delivers the last French lesson. Old Hauser, a village elder who attends the class to show respect for the French language. Villagers. Many villagers come to attend the last lesson as a mark of regret and respect. The story begins with Franz going to school very reluctantly because he has not prepared his lesson on participles. On his way to school, he notices unusual things. The town is very quiet and many people are standing near the bulletin board. When Franz reaches school, he notices that the classroom is unusually silent. Normally there would be noise, but today everything is calm and serious. He is surprised to see villagers sitting on the back benches of the classroom. Then M. Hamel announces that it is their last French lesson. An order has come from Berlin that only German will be taught in schools from the next day. This news shocks Franz. Suddenly he realizes the importance of learning his own language. During the class, M. Hamel speaks about the importance of the French language. He says that language is the key to freedom for a nation. Franz feels regret because he had never paid attention to his lessons before. Even the villagers sitting in the classroom feel guilty that they had neglected their language. M. Hamill teaches the lesson with great emotion and dedication. At the end of the class, he becomes so emotional that he cannot speak. Instead, he writes, Vive la France, on the blackboard, which means Long live France. He then signals that the class is dismissed. This story teaches us several important lessons. First, we should respect and value our language and culture. Second, education is very important and should never be taken for granted. Third, the story highlights patriotism and love for one's country. Finally, it teaches us that we often realize the value of things only after we lose them. Now let us analyze the story critically. The classroom in the story becomes a symbol of cultural identity and resistance. The author shows how deeply language is connected with national pride and identity. The emotional atmosphere of the last lesson reflects the pain of losing one's cultural freedom. Through simple characters like Franz and M. Hamill, Dode beautifully expresses powerful patriotic feelings. The tone of the story is emotional, serious, and patriotic. There is also a sense of regret and nostalgia throughout the story. The author creates a touching atmosphere that makes readers feel the importance of language, education, and national identity. The story conveys a very powerful message. Language is not just a means of communication, it is a symbol of culture, heritage, and freedom. When people respect and preserve their language, they also preserve their identity. Therefore, we must value our language, culture, and education while we still have the opportunity. To conclude, the last lesson is a deeply emotional story that teaches us the importance of language, education, and patriotism. It reminds us that learning is a privilege and that we should always respect our cultural heritage. I hope this explanation helped you understand the chapter clearly. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe my channel CBSE English Boost. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming English lessons. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.